Today, how to save fuel and maximize your earnings on the Uber Eats app. Thank you so much for all of your comments and questions. I really appreciate that people have actually watched my videos and are getting some benefit out of it. I think it's amazing. There's been a few comments around the cost of fuel and also the price per kilometre for orders. And these two are sort of related, so I'm going to cover both of them off today. So first tip, buy cheap fuel. It sounds really obvious, right? But there are ways that you can increase your ability to access cheap fuel. Adelaide consumer regulations actually require all petrol stations to publish their fuel price on a central database, and then motorists can all access. They need to do that in real time. So I use this app called Petrol Spy, and I believe this app works in all other states as well. I'm sure there are other apps and websites as well. And I know that there are other apps and websites that apply for South Australia, but it's great. It enables you to see all the prices in any area of Adelaide. When you're in the app, you can also click on a graph. This graph shows you the last few weeks or a couple of months even of the up and down cycles of fuel. So basically the app allows you to see where the cheapest fuel is in your local area. If you are an Uber Eats driver, you're really looking for the cheapest Ampol fuel because you do get a discount on your fuel at Ampol, 12 cents per litre if you're a Diamond Uber Eats Pro member. And because you can see the up and down of the petrol cycle, it gives you an idea of when petrol might start to go up. So I will always fill up the tank at the bottom of the cycle and I'll keep topping it off. So every time I go out for a shift, I'll just top it off, even if it's only $5, top it off while petrol is at the bottom of the cycle. So tip one, when the price is low, fill up the tank, keep it full, and then try not to purchase fuel when the price is high. I know it's hard to do if you are working full-time, driving full-time. Tip two, the car that you drive. So I'm driving a 2010 Subaru Impreza hatch. I do not recommend this car. It averages somewhere between 9 and 10 litres per 100 kilometres. There are much better cars out there. It's ideal if you can drive something that returns fuel economy in between sort of 5 and 7 to 8 litres per 100 kilometres. Tip number 3 is driving style. So, don't be a hoon. Don't hoon around. Don't be this guy. Just drive normally. If you need to listen to relaxing sounds or, some chilled out music to help you relax behind the wheel, do that. Because driving faster or accelerating harder, you use more fuel and it's not going to get you there any quicker. Tip number 4 is maintenance, and specifically we're talking about tire pressures. Having a underinflated tire creates drag and it will actually influence your fuel economy. We're talking about small percentages, but over time that adds up. So if you take the time to make sure that your tires are inflated to the correct pressure, you're just making sure that your fuel economy is as good as it can be. Tip number 5, you really want to stick to the high density restaurant areas. And personally, I think you need to pick orders that don't go too far away from that. You want orders that are going to drop off in a location where it's very easy for you to get back to that restaurant area. Personally, I'm not a fan of the $25 orders. They look good on the surface, but if a $25 order is taking you 20 minutes away from restaurants, then it's really not worth it. Personally, I like the orders between $5 and $15 that keep me close to restaurants. And tip number 6 is the price per kilometre. So this one really goes hand in hand with keeping your zones pretty tight, and it's making sure that you pick orders that have a really good price to kilometre ratio. In the past, I was looking at about $1.20 per kilometre, but as soon as the fuel hit $2.20, I was like, right, $1.50, $1.60, and even higher. That's what I want to get paid per kilometre, because the petrol price was through the roof. When the petrol price shot up recently, my goal sort of switched from $35 per hour to more about the dollars per kilometre, and I was looking more closely at that. I wasn't too concerned about the hourly rate. What I was concerned about was making sure that I took high paying orders for the distance travelled. Petrol has come down again, but I'm still sort of in that mindset of get a better price per kilometre. So there are 6 tips that you can use to keep your fuel costs down. I don't know if you're doing all of them or none of them. If you have any ideas about how to keep your fuel costs down, feel free to send me a message or a comment. I'd love to hear them. If there's something that you're doing that I haven't talked about, it'd be really great to share it. Remember also to make sure you keep a logbook of all of your running costs, including fuel. You want to keep a track of your kilometres when you start and finish your shift, so that you can claim that on your tax at the end of the year. Thank you all for your comments. See you on the next one.